Hey PA gang, PA Reloader here. As you know in some of my other videos, I'm a big fan of the Stanley outdoor adventure products. They're cooking sets, they're camping gear. And I'm pretty excited to bring this video to you. I received this in the mail yesterday. This is the Stanley Full Kitchen Base Camp Cook Set. And I am so excited I just got this. So let's take a look at what we get here. So you can see the stock pot on the front. It's a 3.5 liter stock pot. It's 18.8 gauge stainless steel, BPA free. It's got a 3-ply frying pan in it. The base has an even thick base on it for even heating. I'm going to get into that once we tear into this, and I'll show you what I mean by that. It has a steel layer, and then an internal aluminum layer, and then another stainless steel layer, and I'll show you guys that. It's a nesting system. It's a 21-piece kit. In this one box, there's 21 pieces to this kit, and it all nests together. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Dishwasher safe. So this is the nesting order. You can see how everything just nests in there, and it says built for life, lifetime warranty. So if you have any problem with your products, just reach out to Stanley and they'll replace it. And then take a look at the back. 21 pieces. And there's the demonstration of the frying pan. You can see that, the 3 layers. So let's open this guy up and you'll see what's in here. I'm going to break down everything for you. I'm pretty excited about this. You can see Stanley's packaging. Very good, very safe and secure in there. Set that off to the side. Okay, so right away what we see, we have a 3.5 liter nesting pot. There's the Stanley embossed logo. On the side of the stock pot, we have 1 liter and then 3 liters. And then this center line is going to be your 2 liter. This set is held together with a bungee system, and it's secure, doesn't really rattle around too much. Very secure. So let's take this off, and that's all it is just a bungee system, just an elastic bungee system. Right away we can see we have a pretty nice sturdy lid. It's got a nice metal handle, no plastic tabs or anything to melt off. It has strainer holes right here so you can strain your pasta or ramen. If you're browning ground beef, you can strain the grease off here. It's got a vent hole down below. And what's pretty neat about this lid is you can see a little bit of a glare, but this has the nesting order of how everything goes back into this pot. From the first item to the last item is laser etched on the inside of the lid. So we have some Stanley instructions, and the first thing you see is we have the Stanley fry pan. Now this fry pan, I absolutely love it. I have another Stanley fry pan that I've used on many trips, camping trips, canoe trips, and it's an even heating system. You can see right here It's about 3/8 thick. It's stainless steel on the bottom with an aluminum core, and then stainless steel again, and then it's mounted to this, adhered to the rest of the pan. Now this lid for the stock pot does fit the it does fit the frying pan, so it's dual purpose there. It fits this nicely, and it fits this nicely. This slider right here, slide that back, pinch the handles, and then the handle just folds under for storage. You want to make sure that this slider is all the way forward when you take this off of the stove or the out of the fire, or whatever you're cooking over. If this slide is back, what will happen is you might grab this and squeeze these two handles together, and then you're going to dump everything out. So it's really important. It's really important that you get that slide. That you get that slider that safely down there, and then there's no squeezing it. You can't get that out. But this frying pan is great. It's 7 1/4 inches from side to side. Even heat, like I said. It's just an all-around great frying pan. So we'll put the lid to the side, and then we're going to break into this. What we have here, we have a spatula and a spoon. And these go together with a simple, just an interlock. You can hear that click, interlocking design. So you can break them down once they're locked in. And yeah, right there, you have a spoon and a spatula. And I'll tell you what, that connection point, that's not going to fail. That's a nice sturdy connection point. I like this spoon. It's got a nice deep dish here, so you can scoop out chili or soup. It's got some capacity to that as far as a spoon goes. I like that. And then you have your spatula. Now I want to mention that the spatula and the spoon are really made well, and they resist heat really well. I've cooked eggs and sausage in my other frying pan, and just using this spatula on the hot frying pan with oil and stuff, sometimes you'll see a frying pan or a spatula where the edges will start to melt and curl up. Not these. These are very heat resistant, and I really like that Stanley came up with that. That's a great feature. Next we have 4 bowls. Now, what I want to say right off the bat is these bowls are very rigid. They don't have much flex, but the one thing I want to throw out there is this is really a good sized bowl. This can hold this will hold a whole breakfast, no problem. I mean, you can get a bunch of eggs in here, 3, 4 eggs easy with some sausage and a biscuit, and this bowl will hold it all. I really like that. The capacity, I think, is there. So good job on that, Stanley. And on the bottom of the bowl, you can see is the nesting order again. So the bowls are one of the last things to go in before the frying pan, and you can see the nesting order. So we got 4 bowls. Next we have 4 plates. Now these plates are nice because they're 7 inches in diameter, and what will happen is if you have some hot food in your bowl, this plate will cover it right up perfectly. So it'll keep your food warm. Now these plates aren't all that big, and they really can't be because of how it nests in here. The nesting system, you need a plate this big. But give somebody a plate and a bowl, and that's plenty of eating surface for anybody. And you can always go for seconds. That's not a problem with that. But you know, the plate and the bowl together gives you plenty of eating surface. So that's 4 plates, 4 bowls, and then the last thing that's in here, well, a couple things. This just pops together. You have a really nice, solid cutting board. Now my other frying pan has a cutting board, and I really like this cutting board. It's a perfect size. Cut onions, peppers, whatever you want on it, and it really holds up well. I really think this is a great cutting board. And inside you'll have 4 sporks, and I'd like to mention that the front of this spork, the fork part, I don't know if you guys can see that really well. Not too bad. But it's got quite a bit of a fork on the front to where you could actually stab probably a piece of meat and you could use it as a fork. Its intended purpose. These sporks are nice because the dish in the spoon part is very deep. So if you're eating chili or soup or something like that, you're going to be able to, this is going to work out well for you. I have, in one of my other Stanley sets, there's some sporks in there, and this area right here, the dish part, is very shallow. Like, there's no way you're going to eat soup with it. It's more of a fork than a spork. But the other thing Stanley did that was kind of neat is on the back of these, there's numbers. So we have 1 through 4, and I guess Stanley's intended reason for that was to keep track of who's, you know, if you're number 2, keep, you know, that spork is yours and only yours. So that was kind of neat. And what we have here also is a trivet. Now this is meant for putting hot things down on a counter or something that you don't want to burn. It's also made for grabbing a handle when something's hot. Now this Stockpot, like I said, it's 3.5 liters, so it's going to have some weight to it. This trivet is, I wish there was 2 in the kit. They really need to have 2, because you're going to want to grab this pot not by 1 hand but by 2 hands. But there's enough trivet here that what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this right down the center, and I'm going to make 2 out of the 1 so I can get on both sides of the pot, and I'll be able to strain out whatever I'm straining out or pouring out, or just, you know, if I'm bringing this over to a table, or, you know, where we're going to prep food or where we're going to eat, I'll be able to carry it with 2 hands instead of just the 1. And then we have this guy. You guys might be wondering what this is. Not only does it house the trouncing of the house the trivet, the sporks, and the cutting board, but it also acts as a drying rack. I'll show that to you right now. Just like this, they slide in their individual slots, and it holds all four bowls and the 4 plates all together. So if you're done with your dinner or whatever you're cooking, and you wash off your bowls and plates, now you just set them in here and let them air dry. Pretty neat. Another ingenious thing by Stanley. So I mean, not only do you get 21 pieces in this kit, this nesting kit, but again, Stanley threw in there something else. Not only does it hold the sporks and the trivet and the cutting board, but now, hey, let's take it a step further. Let's make it a drying rack by cutting 8 holes in it, or slots in it. So that was pretty cool, I thought. I definitely will use that. So let's take these bowls out and the plates out. put this to the side, and then I want to talk about probably the main thing about this video, and that's this stock pot. Now, like on the frying pan, this doesn't have the thick base for the even heating, but let me tell you something. The gauge of this metal is so thick that you're not going to have a problem with even heating, and especially if you're just boiling water, you're not going to have a problem with that either. But I've seen some pots from different kits similar to this, where as the pot heats up, you can hear it ping because the metal's actually deforming. That's how thin it is. And that's not the case with this. The gauge metal, 18/8 stainless steel, the gauge on this is thick. There is no flex in this. This is a heavy, heavy pot by itself. And the other thing I want to mention is these handles right here, where the handle comes down, it doesn't just end. What Stanley did was they rolled this back over and up in here. So there's no, when you're holding this, it's actually very comfortable to hold it. There's no sharp edges right here where the metal ends. Stanley rolled it over so it'd be comfortable. Another great thing. So there's a close-up of the graduations and the Stanley logo. I can't wait to get out and I think the first thing I'm going to make in this guy is some chili, and I really can't wait to get out there and get this on the fire. So let's put this back together now. Let's see if we can remember how it nests. So I'm going to put this over here for now. We have our drying rack, and we have our trivet, which I am going to cut in 2 pieces. That goes in. Our sporks go in. I love how this nests. There's so much going on in such a little amount of space. And that just pops in to those 4 spots. So next to the pot, and this goes just like this into the pot. Okay, then what we have are our 4 plates. Next are 4 bowls. We're going to break down the spatula and the spoon. They go in there. Spoon goes in there. And you can see how that's all nesting together right now. And then on some of the other videos about this cooking set, I saw people have a hard time with getting this in. And the reason I think they're having a problem getting it in is they're leaving the slider out. So when the pan's doing this on them when they want to put nest the pan. But if all you have to do is if you slide this to here, you're not going to be able to squeeze these handles, and you can actually hold it perfectly level, so it's going to go in. If you don't have that, putting this in is almost impossible. It's going to be almost impossible to put it in because it's going to be at an angle for you. It's just slide that, and then now you'll be able to grab it and put it in level. Let me center everything in there. Just like that. Goes in. You can see that. We're going to put our Stanley instructions in there. And we're going to put our lid on. And then we have our bungee. And that bungee holds everything securely. Just like that. Everything. 21 pieces. All in here. I love it, guys. I got to tell you, I really, I'm liking this. Now, for me, I do a lot of canoe trips, tent camping, things like that. This is as far as the size of this. This is going to be as far as size that I want to go with my Stanley gear. My other stuff is more geared for backpacking. This is more geared for like RV, car camping, where it's going to take up some more space. You're not going to get this in a backpack, and nor you're not going to want to carry the weight of this, because I think it's around 6 pounds for this. But for a car camping application, this is really ideal. And like I said, you can feed 4 people with this, and you have a big stock pot where you can make plenty of food for everybody. So that being said, if you like this content, please like it, share it, and subscribe. If you wouldn't mind, I would love it. I really appreciate all my subscribers out there, and thank you for watching my videos. And every time a new video comes out, I get plenty of comments and support, and I really appreciate that. So thank you again. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.